Picture this, a classroom full of excited 5-year-olds, their little faces pressed against the window. It was the day of their big field trip to the local park. They'd been talking about it for weeks, the swings, the giant slide, the picnic. Among them was Jacob, a quiet boy with big observant eyes and a bright yellow raincoat that his mom insisted he wear, just in case. The sun was shining and everyone giggled at his bright coat. As the school bus pulled up to the park, the excitement was buzzing. The teacher, Mrs. Davis, led them towards the picnic area, their little legs struggling to keep up. They played games, chased butterflies, and the air was filled with joyous laughter. Jacob, though quiet, was having a wonderful time, especially on the swings, trying to see if he could touch the sky with his toes. But then something shifted. The bright sunny sky began to darken. A cool wind rustled the leaves and the birds suddenly went quiet. Mrs. Davis glanced up, a worried look on her face. The weather forecast had promised a perfect day. Most of the kids were too busy playing to notice, but Jacob did. He saw the big gray clouds rolling in, looking like giant, grumpy giants. He remembered his grandpa, a retired meteorologist, telling him that when clouds get dark and low like that, a storm is coming, and fast. Suddenly, a distant rumble echoed through the park. A few kids stopped and looked around, confused. Then another, louder rumble. Mrs. Davis started gathering everyone. "Okay, children, time to pack up. We need to head back to the bus quickly now." But the first drops of rain began to fall, fat and splatting on the pavement. Panic started to set in. The bus was parked quite a far walk away, across an open field. The rain quickly turned from a sprinkle to a downpour. The children started to cry. They were scared of the thunder and getting soaked. They huddled together, but the rain was relentless. Mrs. Davis was trying her best to keep them calm, but she was outnumbered and the situation was quickly becoming chaotic. That's when little Jacob, in his bright yellow raincoat, had an idea. He remembered something else his grandpa taught him. In a storm, find the lowest, safest shelter you can. He looked around frantically, not a building in sight, but then he saw the large covered pavilion near the playground. It wasn't perfect, but it had a solid roof and was much closer than the bus. The problem was, it was in the opposite direction of where Mrs. Davis was trying to lead them. He tugged on her sleeve. "Mrs. Davis, over there," he shouted over the wind. "It's closer. We can hide there." Mrs. Davis hesitated for a second, then saw the wisdom in his plan. The pavilion was a much safer and more immediate bet. "Jacob's right. Everyone, follow me to the pavilion," she announced, her voice full of newfound confidence. Seeing Jacob, a beacon of bright yellow, bravely pointing the way, the other kids felt a surge of courage. They stopped crying and started moving. They all scrambled under the pavilion just as the sky opened up completely. Thunder crashed directly overhead and lightning lit up the sky, but they were safe and dry. Huddled together, they watched the storm rage from their shelter. Mrs. Davis gave Jacob a huge, warm hug. "You were so brave and smart, Jacob," she said, her voice filled with relief and pride. The other children, now calm, looked at Jacob he wasn't just the quiet boy anymore. He was their hero in a yellow raincoat. They stayed there until the storm passed, and when they finally made it back to the bus, they all cheered for him. A simple observation and a little bit of courage from a 5-year-old boy had turned a scary situation into a story they would tell for years. Thanks for watching this incredible story of bravery. If you were inspired by Jacob, hit that like button and subscribe for more uplifting stories. See you next time.